Hello and welcome to Berry Nerd Corner. My name is Brandon and this is my attempt to beat Pokemon White version using only dual type Pokemon. This is pretty self-explanatory. There are monotype Pokemon like Superior, who is only a grass type, and dual type Pokemon like Imbor, who is a fire fighting type. So anything with only one type is forbidden, which eliminates a good number of encounters. There are 30 fully evolved, non-legendary dual type Pokemon in black and white, so those are all my potential captures. Anyway, the rules are simple. I can only use Pokemon that have two types. Monotype Pokemon that evolve into a dual type Pokemon are permitted, like Tepig. Otherwise, this run would be impossible. Otherwise, standard Hardcore Nuzlocke rules apply. Only the first viable encounter per area is allowed. Any fainted Pokemon must be released immediately. No items in battle, battle mode must be kept on set, and no overleveling past the next gym leader's ace. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more content like this, and without further ado, let's jump into Unova and see if two types really are better than one. The game begins with some exposition from Professor Juniper. We name ourselves Gemini and meet our rivals Charon and Bianca. We then cut to a lovely scenic view of New Venom Town. Juniper drops off a gift for the three of us, our first Pokemon. I, as the most important person in the room, am allowed to choose first. I choose Tepig, as it's the only starter to evolve into a dual type Pokemon. Bianca gets Snivy and Charon gets Oshawott. They challenge us to a battle. The first battle ruins our bedroom, providing a sense of realism that the rest of the game kind of forgets. The second battle is just as easy. We head downstairs and apologize to Mom, who offers to clean up the room. She then gives us the worst part of the game, the cross transceiver. Bianca's dad seems less excited about her new Pokemon and journey. The three of us enter Juniper's lab, where Charon is an insufferable know-it-all. Juniper lets us nickname Tepig, so we call him Duo. She gives us all the Pokedex, then Mom gives us town maps so we can start our journey. We traverse Route 1, after which Bianca and Charon want to compare Pokedexes. They give me flack for not catching any Pokemon, inconsiderate of the challenge I'm running. Then Juniper calls on the cross transceiver, but I'm going to skip all of that nonsense for this video. Ain't nobody got time for that. In Accumula Town, Team Plasma holds a rally in the plaza. Now, I appreciate their ideology. It's an interesting perspective in the Pokemon world, but this is very bold for a villainous team. I feel like some law enforcement should be here doing something. Ghetsis and his grunts leave without a problem, and In confronts us about capturing Pokemon. We battle and Duo handles his Purloin quite easily. He leaves and we head to Route 2, where Mom stops to give us the running shoes. Finally, we're not barefoot. At the end of the route, Bianca wants to battle again. I'm gonna skip at least every other rival battle because they happen so freaking much in this game. We then enter Striaton City and heal up before exploring. Charon is in the Pokemon school and he challenges us to another battle. That's 4 rival battles before the first gym. This battle is a bit tougher than Bianca's, but still not worth showing. He gives us a few Oran Berries to give to our Pokemon, which will be very useful in the gym. Outside the gym, Silent advises us to prepare to fight water types by training in the Dream Yard, so we do that. Duo takes down the 2 trainers there with a bunch of embers, learning Defense Curl. A random guy gives us a Pansage to help with the gym, but we can't use it because it's not a dual type. Duo and I then enter the gym. I love this gym. I love that Clyde is here at each gym to give us a fresh water, and I love that Black and White teaches you about type matchups from the first gym, making you fight the monkey that is super effective against your starter. However, this will be trouble for me since I can only use Duo for now. Crest starts with a Lillipup. A couple of embers later and it falls. Duo learns Flame Charge as Panpour comes out. I use Flame Charge to outspeed it later, then hit it with a couple of tackles to take the win. This was actually my 6th attempt, but I'm glad it only took 6. After the gym, we head back to the Dream Yard and encounter Team Plasma. They ramble about wanting to free Pokemon while also kicking a free Pokemon, which is not cool. So Duo knocks them both out and a Musharna appears and makes them all hallucinate and run off. I take a moment to evolve Duo into Pignite before leaving Striaton. But then we run into the real challenge, a pair of toddlers who refuse to let me pass with only one Pokemon. So I have to use Pansage at least briefly. I stroll across Route 3 and then, oh my gosh, Charon, I'm going to kill you. It's been 2 freaking minutes since we last battled, but sure, let's fight again. I have a Pignite now, and he's going to punch your Pokemon into paste. There, you happy now? Go away! A pair of Team Plasma grunts run past us after the battle, and Bianca takes an eternity to tell us that they stole a Pokemon from a toddler. Like candy from a baby, I assume. Before we go save for Pokemon, I have to get one of my own. I run around and find a Pidove. Probably my least favorite Gen 5 Pokemon. I hate pigeons, and I hate this Pokemon. I catch her and name her Utwe. She has the ability Big Pecs, which is the most garbage that this Sky Rat could be. Oh well, it's something. In Wellspring Cave, we beat the Plasma Grunts, who ramble on about how we're making Pokemon suffer. We also catch our next teammate, a Woobat named Dos, and she has the Klutz ability, which is the worst possible ability. Great. To compensate for that, I run around a lot and evolve Dos into Swoobat. We enter Nacrene City and find Ann at the museum. Dos quickly takes out his team with Heart Stamp. Ann realizes that he needs more power and decides to befriend a legendary. West of the city is the Pinwheel Forest. This is an interesting dilemma for Nuzlockes. Technically, the outer area and the inner area are both called Pinwheel Forest by the Pokemon's stats, so we can either catch something inside or outside. I choose to catch a Tympole outside because I like Seismitoad. I call him Dua and add him to the team. Entering the gym, Clyde gives us more water and we handle the trainers and the puzzle. After some grinding, we challenge Lenora, who uses normal type Pokemon. The battle starts with Herdier versus Utwe. Utwe growls a few times to lower its attack, then hits with Air Cutter before tagging out for Dos. Dos finishes the dog with Heart Stamp, bringing out Watchog. Dodging Hypnosis, Dos hits it twice before falling low on HP. I switch out for Duo, who takes a lot of damage, but manages to win with a clutch 5-hit Arm Thrust. Lenora gives us the badge before Team Plasma shows up to steal some bones from the museum. While searching for the grunts in Pinwheel Forest, Oot evolves into Tranquil, which is cool, I guess. We find the grunt with the skull and take him out. He gives us the skull, then accuses us of stealing it. Whatever, dude. Team Plasma gets off scot-free again after vandalizing and robbing a museum. But it's fine, I guess. Berg leaves us, inviting us to challenge him in Castelia City Gym. We cross the Skyover Bridge, which is actually a very cool experience. I quite like it. We enter Castelia City and run straight for the gym. Charon is there, and for once, he doesn't pick a fight. But Team Plasma is also here, reminding me of how much freaking plot is always happening in the first half of this game. Goodness, could you just leave me alone for, 2 minutes, please? Thank you. So instead of dealing with them, I find a random scientist, receive a Leaf Stone, and evolve my Pansage into Simisage, which is much more interesting than all of this Team Plasma nonsense right now. So let's jump to the battle with Berg. Duo uses Work Up twice, then takes out Whirlipede with Flame Charge. Dwebble with Arm Thrust and Flame Charge, and then Leavanny with Flame Charge. An easy battle, but always an enjoyable one, because I like bugs. Now the game gets really interesting. Bianca wants to battle as we leave the city, but let's skip it. Bianca does have a nice character moment as she considers why she wants to travel with Pokemon. It's kinda sweet. But it's immediately ruined by Charon challenging us again. I was going to skip this battle, but it turns out to be pretty tense. P-Dove can even hit Dos before fainting. Then Charon sends out Pansear, who falls quite easily. Third is Liepard. I stay in to gauge damage on Air Cutter, but the leopard Pokemon brutally murders Dos with Pursuit. Honestly, I'm not too miffed about it because Dos was never going to stay on the team, and Pursuit would have killed if I had switched out anyway. I send out Duo, whom I failed to heal after Bianca's fight. Whoops. Arm Thrust avenges the death of Dos and brings out Duat. Not wanting to chance it, I switch to Oot. Oot and Duat go back and forth with Air Cutter and Razor Shell, and eventually, my stupid pigeon beats the otter. Thanks for the break and the slight challenge, Charon. See you in 2 gyms? Please? I bury our beloved Dos and move on to Route 4 for several new encounters. I want to go to the Relic Castle to get Sandile to guarantee Scraggy on Route 4, so we're going to run there and do that. The new team members are Toad the Sandile from Relic Castle, Junior the Sigilif from the Desert Resort, and Dubs the Scraggy from Route 4. Unfortunately, Junior viciously murdered Urtwe, so now both of my useless birds are gone. But I have these replacements, plus Billy the Tortuga, whom I revived from a fossil I received in the Relic Castle. While grinding to catch up my new team members, Dua evolves into Palpitoad. Entering Nimbasa City, we run into Juniper and Charon again. Ugh. Juniper gives us some Ultra Balls and we enter the city. We defend the daycare man from some plasma grunts and he gives us a bicycle as a reward. I would have expected an egg, but okay. Oh, and Bianca's here. Before anything else, we head east to Route 16 and search through rustling grass to find our next encounter, Emolga. I'm very excited to use this guy because I've never used it. His name is Deuces, and I add him to the team and give him the experience share. We head to the amusement park where the gym is, but we run into Inn instead. He takes us on a Ferris wheel ride where he reveals his identity as the leader of Team Plasma. He challenges us so his grunts can escape, and we pretty easily handle him. After the battle, we get a cool close-up shot of Inn proclaiming his intentions. Become the champion and make everyone release their Pokemon. He challenges me to stop him by collecting all the badges and... Wait a minute. Are you not collecting badges? How are you going to enter the Pokemon League without the badges? No, wait, Inn, come back and tell me, please! With nothing else to do, we challenge Elisa at the Nimbasa City Gym. She leads with an Emolga against Toe. I use Embargo to prevent any potions, and the Flying Squirrel falls after 2 more Rock Tombs. Toe levels up, learns Crunch, and then takes down the second Emolga with 2 Rock Tombs. Elisa sends out her ace Zebstrika, so I switch to Dua. I confuse the zebra, set up Aqua Ring for recovery, then shoot it with mud until it faints, giving us the victory. With our new badge in hand, we leave the city and... Charon, I swear to Arceus, you are going to regret this one of these days. Deuces takes care of his whole team, giving Toe enough experience to level up and evolve into Krokorok. Thanks for finally being useful, Charon. We then meet Alder, who instigates a fight between us and a pair of toddlers. So we beat up the toddlers' dogs and move on to the Driftvale drawbridge. Elisa calls Clay to lower the drawbridge. We cross the bridge and find a Ducklet, whom we capture and name Dao. We skip the city and head to Route 6, where we capture Duplex the Fungus. There's some Team Plasma nonsense in the cold storage, which ends with Ghetsis just walking off with his grunts. Cool. Glad nobody is stopping these villains. Guess it's time to take on Clay. Oh, before we do that, while grinding, Dao unfortunately dies to a Deerling. Oh well. Clay challenges us with his ground types, so Dua decides to exert his dominance. Scald takes out Krokorok in 1 hit. A critical hit Muddy Water takes out Palpitoad. And another critical hit on Scald defeats Excadrill, earning us the badge and an extra errand from Clay. What a tool. We head through Route 6 to Chargestone Cave, skipping a battle with Bianca that is uneventful as always. Once there, we catch a Joltik named Coxie. She could be useful later. The next noteworthy event in the cave is Beely proving that he is the superior Gen 5 fossil Pokemon when he single-handedly defeats an Archon. And the last important event is Duo's evolution into Embor. This does mean that he's over the level cap, but I was never going to use him against Skyla, the flying type trainer. We skip Mistralton City to reach Route 7 and catch a Deerling, whom we named Dvi, and add to the team in Duo's place. I also catch a Litwick named Twice in Celestial Tower. On the roof, Skyla invites us to ring the bell and then come to her gym, so we oblige. In our battle, Skyla starts by sending out her Swoobat. She survives a shockwave, but after healing, she is defeated by acrobatics without dealing any damage. Then both Unpheasant and Sawana are electrocuted by shockwave for another easy gym battle. We leave the gym and run into N. He talks with Palpitoad about my character, then spills the beans about Ghetsis' plans. Moving on, you'd never guessed who we find next. It's Charon again. Yay. I trounce him again, and Alder shows up to talk to us. Charon is a jerk, as usual. Alder gives us the HM for Surf and leaves. Tragically, Toe dies in the next trainer fight when I'm not recording, so I bury the poor guy and bring back Duo. The team changes don't stop there, though. Dua evolves into Seismitoad, and Beely evolves into Caracosta. I catch a Drillbur named Doppel, who immediately replaces Seismitoad, who unfortunately dies in Twist Mountain. In Icarus City, we challenge the 7th gym leader, not even bothering to reach the level cap. Duo melts the Vanillish, bringing out Beartic. The two deal heavy damage to each other, but Bryson uses a potion, so I switch to Beely to bury it under some rocks. Cryogonal appears and also gets buried immediately. We leave the gym and oh look, Charon and Bianca are here. Just dandy. Bryson does show up and exposes the Shadow Triad, who invite us to Dragon Spiral Tower. And of course, Charon invites himself along. While grinding, our beloved Deuces dies to an ice cream cone. So I bury him and bring in Coxie the Joltik. We then catch a Golett in Dragon Spiral Tower and name it Ni. At the rate that I'm killing Pokemon, it'll be in the team before too long. At the top of the tower, some plot happens. In manages to earn the favor of Reshiram. He challenges us to do the same with Zekrom if we want to stop him. To do that, we go to the Nacree Museum to retrieve the Darkstone before heading to Opelucid City to learn how to wake the dragon. Along the way, Dvi dies to a Team Plasma Grunt. We replace him with a poniard named BB on Route 9. We enter Opaloosid City, where Getsis is spouting more of his propaganda. I bet he'd get banned from Twitter like some insufferable former authority figure. Anyway, Drayden and Iris exposit a bit about the legendary dragons before sending us to the gym. We clear out the trainers and challenge Iris. She sends out Fracture to face Doppel. I use Swords Dance and Earthquake to take it out quickly. Drodagon is next, so Doppel boosts its attack even more. After some damage from Revenge, Earthquake bodies Drodagon and her ace, Haxorus. As she spouts her post-battle monologue, I realize the irony of us defeating Iris with an Excadrill. Gotta love it. Time for some team updates. We catch a Rufflet on Route 10, I name him 2 and leave him in the box. He doesn't evolve until after the league's level cap. I then return to Driftvale City to catch a Frillish, which I name Twinkies. After some grinding, I update the roster and traverse Route 10. Cheren and Bianca interrupt our progress as usual. They're worried about me being strong enough to beat In if Alder loses, so Cheren challenges me to our final rival battle. After getting stomped, he heals my team, rambles about becoming stronger, and the 2 losers leave. Finally, we are free. We move on toward the Pokemon League. After losing Junior in Victory Road, we grind everyone to the level cap of 50. Here's the team as we enter the Elite Four. First up is Caitlyn. He uses Psychic types. Her Reuniclus and Sigilif both fall to single hits from Crunch, only managing to hit with an Air Slash. Gothitelle and Musharna both barely manage to survive, but only Musharna is able to deal any damage before fainting. Chantal is next with her Ghost types. I give Coxie a chance to pull some weight, but she's too frail. I switch for our most reliable Pokemon, Dubs, and take it out with Crunch after Chantal wastes her Hyper Potions. A critical hit takes out Garlic quickly, then Chandelure deals massive damage and burns us before falling. I send out Twinkies to Toxic Stall her Jellicent, winning the battle without any losses. We move on to face Grimsley, the Dark-type master. Coxie manages to pull some weight finally by taking out Scrafty, but that brings out Crocodile. Not wanting to overlevel Dubs, I send in Beely, who takes massive damage but manages to beat the Crocodile Pokemon. When Bisharp comes out, I switch to Duo and break its bricks. Last is Liepard, who scores a critical hit with Aerial Ace before Duo also breaks its bricks. Finally, we face Marshall. His fighting types often pose the greatest challenge in a Nuzlocke, in my experience. I use Twinkies, who is immune to his fighting attacks. After some stalling with Recover, Twinkies defeats his throw. He then manages to Toxic Stall both Sock and Conkeldurr, even with 2 full restores. I switch around against me and Xiao, causing massive recoil from Jump Kick when Ni comes in to finish the job. Now that we've conquered the Elite Four, we descend to find Alder and see what happened between him and In. Of course, Alder lost, leaving it up to us to save the Pokemon of Unova's trainers. Because apparently the champion gets totalitarian rule over the region and can make all trainers do whatever he or she wants. That doesn't seem right. In summons his mystery castle and challenges us to find him. And I mean, dude, seriously? Just fight me here. You asked me to come here, and I came here. Now you're asking me to keep chasing you? What if I just send out all my Pokemon to wreck your stupid castle? Anyway, we go through the castle and confront In. He brings out Reshiram to intimidate us, but the Darkstone releases Zekrom, who wants to test us. Fine. I pass the test by chucking the Master Ball at him, and then I send Dubs the Scrafty back to the PC for him. I also swapped Coxie for BB, who I had trained to In's level cap before taking on the league. In leads with his Reshiram against my newly caught Bahamut. After some lucky paralysis with Dragon Breath, Bahamut comes out on top, giving us an early lead. I bring out Duo to smash Vanillux into the ground after it sets up some hail. BB softens Carracosta after a full restore before tagging out for Beely. My Carracosta comes out on top, bringing in Klinklang. I switch around to avoid damage, only for Duo to fall to a critical hit from Focus Blast. Ni comes in and takes it out, exposing it as Zoroark in disguise. I foolishly switch around against Archeops, which lets it take out Bahamut. Beely dodges a Stone Edge and avenges his new teammate. Last is Klinklang against my battered team. Ni comes back in, barely survives a Flash Cannon, and takes it out with Earthquake. That was brutal. In nobly admits defeat, but Getsis ain't having it. Unsurprisingly, he was using Team Plasma and their noble cause to take control over the entire Unova region. How original. I think it would have been way more meaningful if Nintendo had left him as pro-liberation, but whatever. He challenges us to stop him, so we have to fight him with our remaining 4 team members. This immediately poses a problem, because I don't get to switch around my team. So I have to switch from Bahamut's corpse on the first turn. I bring in BB, who avoids Toxic and eventually takes down the Ghost Pokemon with Night Slash after it stalls with Protect. Twinkies tags in to Toxic Stall Hydreigon, which thankfully works pretty well. Bouffalant comes in threatening Wild Charge, so I switch to Knee. After dealing heavy damage, Knee falls to a critical hit from Earthquake, leaving me with 3 Pokemon. BB finishes the job before letting Twinkies face Seismitoad. Twinkies does what he does best, poisons the Toad with Toxic. However, another Earthquake takes him out. The same happens to BB the following turn, leaving me with just Beely. He boosts his stats with Shell Smash before going on the offensive. Seismitoad deals massive damage before falling. Getsus uses Electros next, who barely survives a waterfall, then scores a double knockout with Wild Charge, wiping out the alive members of my team. And I guess that's it. In this universe, Team Plasma wins. Getsus becomes ruler of Unova, forces all other trainers to release their Pokemon, and then just chills? I'm a little bummed at how close this last battle was. Just a higher roll on my last waterfall, and I bet Beely could have finished off that Bisharp. But such is the nature of challenges. I did save before catching Zekrom and could have easily restarted without telling you. But I think this is a fitting end. I made a bunch of stupid mistakes trying to rush through the game and lost some good Pokemon early on. This challenge was all over the place, sometimes easy, sometimes hard. And these games are hard for Nuzlocke challenges. I'm proud of myself for making it so far and pushing Getsus to his final Pokemon. I got to use a few new Pokemon this time, like Bisharp. I had a fair amount of fun, and though I have some complaints about some of the features, overall, I love the newness that Black and White brought to the franchise. They're great. Maybe I'll try this challenge again later via stream and see if I can beat it. But that's going to be it for me. I'll just enjoy my last few moments with Dubs before Getsus takes him from me. Well, that's going to be it. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below telling me your favorite Pokemon from the Unova region. Mine is probably Scrafty. Until next time, I'm Brandon, and I'll see you in the next one. Later, nerds.